Hey, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? This crowd is buzzing right now. Tonight, those cats won't even be able to hear themselves think. Let's do it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is straight out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we have episode 47 of the tragic Bronson My Career. Now today we're going up against the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going up against 6'8" Joe Johnson, so this should be a pretty good matchup. But I'm not going to be talking about the video too much this commentary. First off, I want to say I'm trying something else, trying out something different today. I'm recording this commentary talking a little bit further away from my microphone than I usually do. Hopefully it will sound a little bit better. I think it will. So anyway, let me know what you think. I might try a bit of a technique. I heard that if you put like a sock or something, or like a shirt or something like that on top of your microphone, it can act as like a pop filter type. So I might try doing something like that in the future, but we'll see. Anyway, what I want to talk about in this video is my prediction for the NBA All-Star Saturday Night competitions, as well as the All-Star game. I can't really make predictions on the NBA events for Friday night, obviously, because this video is going up on Saturday, which means those have already passed. Actually, just finished watching this. I'm recording this Friday night about 11:30, so right after the rookie-sophomore game. It was a pretty good game. I actually predicted Team Chuck to win, even though a lot of people thought Team Shaq was loaded. But I thought Team Shaq was loaded last year, too, and I ended up being wrong. But, yeah, I liked Team Chuck, and I wanted Alexei Shved for MVP because I love Alexei Shved, but Kenneth Faried really beasted, putting up 40 and 10, so... Anyway, as for the All-Star Saturday Night competitions, I'm not going to make predictions on the Shooting Stars Challenge, and I'm not going to make predictions on the Skills competition because both those are not as heavily watched as the three-point competition or the dunk contest. I actually don't even remember who's in the Skills, the Skills competition, even though that's probably my favorite event, quite frankly. I just really like it. It's always fun to do like a makeshift Skills competition at school or something, but anyway, just, you know, hanging out in the gym at lunch or something. Sometimes you do that type of stuff, but either way, so as for the three-point contest, your contestants are as follows: in the East, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, and Steve Novak. In the West, Matt Bonner, Steph Curry, and who am I missing? I can't remember who the third contestant is. I feel very stupid, but anyway. Either way, I think that I actually think Steph Curry is gonna come pull it out. I think Kyrie has a chance at it because he's actually a very underrated three-point shooter to say. But I think that he's more of a game shooter. He's more of kind of a dribble up the court and, you know, pull up for three type shooter. Like that's how I am in games too. I'm not the best spot up shooter. I'm actually better off a dribble, and I think that's similar to how Kyrie is. So I think, you know, Matt Bonner and Steve Novak, if they can get in a rhythm, they can certainly take it home. Paul George has a chance, but I think he's another type of game shooter. You know, he's a spot-up shooter too, but I just think he does. I think he's, like I said, I just think he's an in-game shooter. Look at me going between the legs on that dunk, though, right there. Check this out. Oh, look at that. Anyway, so I do think that Steph Curry's going to take on the three-point competition. I think Steve Novak will give him a run for his money. Maybe Matt Bonner, but I don't know what kind of rhythm Matt Bonner is going to be able to get himself into, just because he hasn't really played too much this year, whereas Novak's actually gotten some decent minutes here or there. So either way, I think Stephen Curry's going to take that home. One of the best young three-point shooters in the NBA. He's been great for the Warriors this year. Definitely a snub in my opinion. Him or Marc Gasol should have gotten in the All-Star game, but either way, you know, it's besides the point. So that's my prediction for the three-point competition. I'll talk about the dunk contest when we get to the second half, but we're near the end of the first half here, and really blowing out the Brooklyn Nets, up 60-43, and I have 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Really good game so far. That is the buzzer for the end of the first half, so I'm going to leave you guys with the halftime report, and I'll be right back.
Fairly one-sided. Warriors ahead, leading by 17. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. And now, brought to you by Sprint.
From the 2K Sports Studios, welcome. The season is in its final stages. Let's look back at today's action so far. The Golden State Warriors are ahead against Brooklyn. They've been relentless attacking the rim, dominating in points in the paint, and the bodies down low have been banging away. A tremendous first half for insanity. At the break, 21 points, and so far, has done a great job playing lockdown D. For the Nets, though, they've looked out of sync. They'd like to forget that first half. Coach has not been happy with what he's seen out there, and they'll likely come out with major adjustments. Darren Williams is off to a rough start. Everything's been rimming out for him. He's got to be frustrated.
Alright, so we're back with the start of the second half, and that last participant for the Western Conference for the three-point competition is Ryan Anderson, and I do not think he'll win. He is a good three-point shooter, but he's not a very high percentage three-point shooter, at least not compared to some of the other guys in the contest. He's kind of a chucker, and I just don't think he'll succeed in the kind of the format of the three-point contest. So, let's move on to the dunk contest. Now, your participants for this are in the East, Terrence Ross, Gerald Green, and James White. In the West, Jeremy Evans, Kenneth Farid, and Eric Bledsoe. Now, I think the three front runners for this are going to be Ross, Green, and White. And kind of the three sleepers slash just guys who I don't think are going to win or don't have a chance at winning really are Farid, Eric Bledsoe, and Jeremy Evans. I'd give Bledsoe a bit of a chance, especially because he's 6'1", so sometimes his dunks will look more impressive than they really are just because it looks like he's going to be jumping a lot higher and stuff like that. But it could also be harder for him, so we'll see. Farid could put on a show, though. I don't know what he's going to be able to do, in terms of just, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be that good of a dunk contest dunker. I think he's more of an in-game dunker, a lot like Rudy Gay. If you guys remember when Rudy Gay was in the dunk contest at one time, he does a lot of flashy in-game dunks, but he's not that type of guy that can do a lot of, between the legs, 360 type stuff. So, anyway, as for Eric Bledsoe, like I said before, I think he might have a chance, but Jeremy Evans, I don't think he has a chance. I didn't think he was that impressive last year. I don't think he'll be any more impressive this year. As for the three guys that I listed as potential winners, I think James Flight White is going to take it home. If you guys have seen his YouTube mixes, man, that guy is insane. He can really fly, and I think if he pulls out one of those free throw line in between the leg dunks, it's going to be. This might be one of the years where it could be the. What was it someone tweeted? This could be one of the years where we could have an it's over moment, kind of, where someone does an incredible crazy dunk and it's kind of over from that point. I think James White might pull something out like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I think James White's going to take it home. I think Gerald Green and Terrence Ross have a chance. Gerald Green was very impressive. He won in 2006 in person, or 2007, I believe, and did the D. Brown dunk from the 90s. That D. Brown, a guy in the Celtics, he did one time where he put his arm over his eyes, kind of shut his eyes or whatever, and did the dunk. And then he also did the cupcake dunk in 2008, I believe, and he was on the Timberwolves. So Gerald Green's going to pull out something cool, I think, and I think he'll be impressive. I also think Terrence Ross is impressive. A lot of people are counting him out, but that guy can really fly. He's another one of those athletic shooting guard type wing players who really thrive in these type of events, and I think he's going to have a good contest. So anyway, I think those are the three guys to look out for, but I am going to predict that James White does end up winning this. Look at the sick alley-oop there, too. That was pretty sweet. I didn't even mean to do that. I was trying to alley-oop it to myself. So anyway, like I said, I think James Flight White's going to take it home, and that's pretty much my predictions for the All-Star Saturday Night competitions. For the All-Star game itself, I think the West is going to win. The West has a much better roster built for an All-Star type game, an All-Star game type of comp there. I don't know how to word that, but when I look at the East, I see some decent players. I think it's kind of silly that Chris Bosh is taking Rondo's starting spot, but Eric Spoelstra wants to be loyal to his team. I get that, but I just don't think I think it's kind of silly to have LeBron playing at the 2 and have four front court players in your starting lineup. I don't know. I don't really like that, but it is what it is. It's Spoelstra's decision, but when I look at the East, I see a lot of their bench players as guys like Joakim Noah and Tyson Chandler, who are two defensive-oriented players. In an All-Star game, they're not really going to be able to do anything. I think the West, when I look at their bench, they have some more athletic type guys. They have some three-point shooters. I think that a team built like the West kind of is better favored in an All-Star game than just a team formatted like the East is. I think it's just more explosiveness, it's more firepower, and in an All-Star game when there's almost no defense played, I think that's what it comes down to. So anyway, I'm taking the West. I think they'll win by probably 20 or 30 points, quite frankly. And that's really all I have to say on that. As for MVP, maybe Kobe Bryant. I think he'll come out with something to prove, probably just because... Yeah, we saw it last year when he wanted to pass MJ on the all-time scoring list for All-Star games. He really came out and showed out, and I think he's got something to prove, kind of the way the Lakers have been struggling this year. I think he wants to show that, maybe he's arrogant enough to kind of say that maybe if I have a big game, they'll say it won't be my fault or something like that. So I think I'm going to pick Kobe to win MVP. I think he's got something to prove. I think think that West team is stacked and loaded, and I think they're going to take it home. So I know it's going to wrap up this game. We end up blowing out the Brooklyn Nets. Let me know what you guys think, who you guys think is going to win some of the contests that I mentioned, three-point contest, shooting stars, skills competition, dunk contest, and who's going to win the All-Star game. So anyway, it's going to wrap this video. I thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Leave you guys with the player of the game highlights in the post-game interview as always, and I'm out. Peace.
Big Will in the building.
According to sources within the league office, you have just been named the conference's Player of the Week once again. Who do you most credit for this award?
Well, I don't think I can single out any one person or group of people. Basically, everyone involved, the coaching staff, my teammates, the fans, my family, they're all to thank for this great accomplishment. Thanks to everyone.